Morning students. Today we discuss a method to solve quasi-linear partial differential equation. In previous lectures we have seen how to derive a partial differential equation from a given equation by eliminating some arbitrary constant or by eliminating some arbitrary function. Here I would like to state that every linear partial differential equation and every semi-linear partial differential equation, both are also quasi-linear equation, because a linear partial differential equation is linear in P, Q and Z as well, and whereas semi-linear equation is linear in P and Q. So every linear equation must be a semi-linear equation, but converse may not be true. Also, in a semi-linear equation, their standard equations are P plus Q is equals to R. This is generally we can represent by semi-linear or quasi-linear. If P and Q are function of xy, it will be semi-linear, and if P and Q are function of xyz, it will be a quasi-linear. So in semi-linear, P and Q are function of xy, whereas in quasi-linear, P and Q are function of xyz also. So a semi-linear equation is also a quasi-linear equation, but converse may not be true. So the method we use to solve a quasi-linear equation is applicable for a semi-linear partial differential equation and a linear partial differential equation both. So let's general equation of quasi-linear partial differential equation, which is Pp plus Qq is equals to R. Here P, Q and R are some function of x, y, z. Now let's take, suppose its general solution is given by phi u v is equals to 0, where phi is some arbitrary function and u and v are some variable function of some variable x, y and z. As we know, by eliminating this phi we can derive this partial differential equation. So these u and v are the solution of this equation. These can be obtained by solving this equation, which is dx upon p is equals to dy upon q is equals to dz upon r, where capital P, Q and R coefficient of small p, coefficient of small q and right hand part respectively in quasi-partial differential equation. Now what's about its working procedure? So first we write given equation in standard form, which is Pp plus Qq is equals to R. Then we write Lagrange auxiliary equation, which is dx upon p is equals to dy upon q is equals to dz upon r. Now we solve this equation to find two independent solutions, namely u and v. And in last, write general solution in the form, in one of any form. It might be phi of u equals to 0, or it can be expressed as u is equals to some function of v, or v is equals to some function of u, where this phi is arbitrary function. The important thing is how we are to find the value of u and v. To find the value of u and v, we are to solve two fraction of this equation. We can choose any two fraction of this equation and solve. Then again we choose another two fraction to solve and get the value of u and v. To solve this equation, there are four rules to find two independent solutions u and v of Lagrange auxiliary equation. One by one we saw the rules. The first says, suppose that one of the variable is absent or cancel out from any two fraction of auxiliary equation, then an integral can be obtained by simply integrating them. Means, very first we are to choose any two fraction. It might be first or second fraction, it might be first or third fraction, or it may be second or third fraction. We are to choose fraction in such a way they are function of two variable only, or if they are function of third variable, the third variable can be cancelled out. Suppose we choose first and second dx upon p dy upon q. As we know, p and q are function of x, y, z. then the variable z can be eliminated, can be cancelled out from these two terms. Or if we choose second or third, then variable x can be eliminated. So whatever two fraction we choose, the third variable either must be absent or can be cancelled out. Then we can solve that fraction, that pair of fraction, and get an integral. Similarly, we can find another integral by repeating this procedure. Now, for better explanation, let's take some example. We have here in problem y square z upon xp plus xz cube is equals to y square. This is given equation. First we rewrite it into standard form. It's already in standard form, which is pp plus qq is equals to r. When we compare with the standard equation, we get capital P is y square z upon x, and capital Q, which is coefficient of small q, that is xz, and capital R, which is right hand part, that is y square. We know Lagrange equation is dx upon p is equals to dy upon q is equals to dz upon r. Simply putting the value of p, q and r, we get dx upon y square z upon x is equals to dy upon xz is equals to dz upon y square. Now we are to choose two fraction. It may be first second, it may be first third, or it may be second third. We choose first and second because of course here p is function of x, y, z and q is in terms of x, z, but we can easily remove z in first and second fraction, so remaining terms are function of xy only, which is integrable. So taking first two fraction, we get x upon y square z dx is equals to 1 upon xz dy. This z cancel out, so remaining term can be expressed as x square dx is equals to y square dy. Now we integrate this and get x cube by 3 minus y cube by 3 is equals to c. Or when we simplify this, we get x cube minus y cube is equals to 3c. As c is arbitrary constant, this 3c is also an arbitrary constant. So we can rewrite it as c1. So one integral is x cube minus y cube is equals to c1. So here u is what? U is x cube minus y cube. Now to obtain v, which pair of fraction we should choose? If we choose second and third fraction, it will carry all three variable and no variable can be cancelled out. But if we choose first and third fraction, we see here the variable y can easily eliminated, and resultant terms are resultant terms having variable only x and z. So choose first and third, we get x dx upon y square z is equals to dz upon y square. Here y square cancel out. The resultant term is x dx is equals to z dz. When we integrate this, we get x square by 2 minus z square by 2 is equals to k. It gives us x square minus z square is equals to 2k. Here k is arbitrary constant, so 2k is also arbitrary constant, and another integral is given by x square minus z square is equals to c2. So from here u is x cube minus y cube and v is x square minus z square. Important thing is that these both u and v must be independent, and these are independent. Independent means one cannot be expressed as in terms of another. If so u can be expressed in terms of v, then they are not independent. Here x square minus z square or x cube minus y cube are independent because they cannot be expressed in form of other. So its general solution of given equation can be written as phi. Phi is arbitrary function. Phi function of ub, where u is x cube minus y cube and v is x square minus z square, and solution is phi of uv is equals to 0. Now look another example. Y square p minus xyq is equals to x z minus 2y. When we compare this equation with standard form, we get capital P, which is coefficient of small p, which is y square. capital Q, which is coefficient of small q, which is minus xy, and capital R, which is right hand part, that is xz minus 2y. And Lagrange auxiliary equation, as we know, dx upon p is equals to dy upon q is equals to dz upon r. Now we put the value of p, q and r in this equation. We get dx upon y square equals to dy upon minus xy equals to dz upon x z minus 2y. Now we are to choose two fractions so that we can find a solution. So first we choose first and second fraction. Here y can be easily eliminated. So when we eliminate y, we get dx upon y is equals to dy upon minus x, or it can be rewrite x dx is equals to minus y dy. So this is integrable, and its integration is x square by 2 plus y square by 2 is equals to c, or x square plus y square equals to 2c, where 2c is arbitrary constant, so we can rewrite it as c1. So one integral of given equation is x square plus y square equals to c1. This is an integral of Lagrange equation. Now to opt another integral, we choose second and third fraction, because from here x can be easily cancelled out. So when we choose second and third fraction, we get dy upon minus xy is equals to dz upon x z minus 2y. When we cancel out x, we get minus dy upon y is equals to dz upon z minus 2y. Now further we simplify this and we get minus of z minus 2y dy is equals to y dz, or here we can say multiply this equation with y into z minus 2y. So we get this form of above equation. Or further simplification, we get minus z dy plus 2y dy is equals to y dz. Now shift this minus z dy into right hand part. We get 2y dy in left hand side, and in right hand side we have y dz plus z dy. This y dz plus z dy can be expressed as derivative of yz, because when we differentiate yz, what we get? Y into dz plus z into dy. So it can be written as derivative of yz. So further we get 2y dy is equals to derivative of yz. Now we integrate it both sides. We get here integration of y is y square by 2. To cancel out, it become y square is equals to yz plus c2 some arbitrary constant. So or it can be written as y square minus yz is equals to c2, where y square minus yz is v. From above, u is x square plus y square, v is y square minus yz. Hence general solution of given equation can be written as phi of uv, phi is arbitrary constant, phi of x square plus y square comma y square minus yz equals to 0. And these are some problem for solving. Thank you.